Start a swirl if you guys don't mind, just so I can understand. How much green is in that wax? It's a green one. Oh, it's the mix. It's my, oh, I figure I'm gonna yell at that.
Go ahead.
He can hit the sides with the wall.
Body, you want smears, you want swirls? Wave.
Wave spots as far as.
But that's the same.
Yeah, there's, oh, they're all.
Okay.
You keep doing what you're doing.
Well, all right,
I'm totally fine right here.
Oh, it's shimmer gold. Yeah. Good afternoon, Jeanette.
yeah, it's almost pukey.
That's, I mean, so cool that you put on that
It's not so hard, like.
Yeah. Remember, this is we walked away from it for 2 hours yesterday.
That's it. If you do too
Yeah,
much, and
I
then,
see
it
that.
just is a blob of brown.
What's that? I got my fingers. Yeah. It might be, I don't think I'd ever do a yellow base.
Gosh.
What's that?
Yeah. And a gray or a black.
Yeah, it's hard to really visualize what the.
Yeah, I don't.
Like you were saying, maybe do your half there.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Designs.
it just looks so bizarre. I
Yeah.
have no clue what this
Yeah.
would really look like. So, I mean, it's, ugh.
Keep my save up when the OCD's kicking in.
Oh, I like that. I like that better than the swirling.
Just like a refrigerator.
See,
That's, yeah,
So-
really hydraulic here.
yeah.
But I'm not gonna try to this is.
Do you wanna, we can just.
And this is where it's, a lot of guys will call,
Get it down.
and they'll say, hey, I poured. And then
Or just do
it
that like you said, half.
I think I had to be, I know I have enough.
I
Oh,
like
look at
that.
that.
I really don't have on the countertop, there was like big tiles all over.
Right.
I know, I like it better. Wish we had another color.
What kind of pressure are you putting on the roller right now?
There's the little chair.
Is that a color?
See how it's got this corner picker, I'm not gonna just do this. And bring pressure, well, and up this bald spot there.
Oh, and you guys have some accents here.
Where's the gray? I know.
You know, I'm not angling that, I'm angling the roller, but I'm not.
Whoa.
rolling it, right? I'm just trying to push
Go
the
ahead.
product that way, and don't let it all lap off the edge either.
She's like, you're doing your camera, you want our help?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it.
Guess that, though. So.
And right before you get to the end, just lift your roller up and then push into the excess backwards. But not go all the way to the end, because you make your hands cover. Maybe you're.
That's why I built a wall with my OCD would kick in.
You can do this all day. It's not early. You have an hour.
That's how I am.
Glad you like
I
that.
move, I can't.
That's why I said you could.
I mean, it makes sense to the epoxy, if you hit it lightly.
Oh, then you
You'll see
stab
it.
it, yes.
That's why I think I like the roller. But remember this, guys, exactly what I just said. Start at the center, and slowly, if you ever watch a parking lot get stuff up, they just like spring right around them.
Or do you want to
They always start in the center, it's like pushing it to the
try to get
side.
like just like try to just get to a black base and come up with some colors? You'll see you can lay those colors over top, just like our boards, just like the boards we did yesterday.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Because we didn't have enough base.
just get it striped out for me and
Yeah, okay.
we'll try to get all that black out. Oh yeah, look how far that, we should be able to black this thing out.
Yeah, because we didn't really have enough base, did we? A little shy on that.
Be really thoughtful. The trowel guy can wreck all of it.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
So if you want to, you just gotta think, am I trying to like, trowel something together, or am I trying to streak everything down to one side?
We're going black
I
out.
don't think we should go the mark,
We're blacking it out. We're starting
we're
over.
kind of like the defined. What do you think?
I like how he looked over there.
Chaos, jarhead symbol.
We got countertop over here.
I was just following your white for the shadow. No, I'm being serious, that's what I was doing, that's what I was doing.
You just have to think the way you're swiping it, and I can help if you guys want, but I want this to be your guys' complete project.
So yeah, that's.
That's the way you do it.
Yeah, and definitely when you look at it from angles, like, you can see down this side, there's a bunch of thin spots. My side looks perfect.
Does it matter if you go all the way to the edge? Like, do you want
You might wanna
to go
clean that.
to the edge?
Now remember, now you got stuff on your trowel, so you just randomly grab it, you're gonna have that right back over you. So do you want all the strips to go in the same direction?
Tony, right where you just passed, on the very edge of the
Yeah.
You could start again right here if you wanted to. And it's, you just have excess product, even your white, she's a
Yeah.
black, but you know what I mean?
It's all right.
And you could start again off this and track. Just be thoughtful of what's on your trowel and where you're going with it.
No, you're fine.
What colors do we want this?
Pressure.
Oh, well, of course they will, they're,
Remember, the speed and smoothness of your trowel have everything to do with keeping the chop low.
Well, I would put the chop in there.
Oh, okay.
I thought
Make
it
it a little
was different.
difficulty for the cleaning people. Just something for them to dig into.
Oh, because we're gonna sand it down.
Oh, I,
Versus-
don't,
okay.
don't stress it. You just do what you think looks best.
Well, I'd see someone you like.
Yeah, but you wouldn't leave a big purposeful lump for most customers to freak out.
We're smooth. We're clean on this side.
Over there.
You guys can just rework that whole thing, get your edges, and you can still make a really nice
Yeah,
out of that.
that's what we
Yeah, we're just trying to
But
black it out.
don't spray yet though, because you want to, yeah, you won't want a bunch of alcohol mixed in when you're trying to get the edges done.
Oh, okay.
Some of that will settle
yeah,
out.
it's just kind of
Take a clear alcohol and do some flecking like flicking like she is. Or speckling.
That's pretty flat, guys.
That's all right. Yeah.
I wanna get some.
Your edges may have been rolled,
Yeah,
but
I like-
not much product off the edges, I'm just
trying to
guessing.
do the lines. Come on.
It'll be fine. Don't stress about your edges
So
though.
that's
You get time black.
kind of what we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We covered the yellow.
Yeah. Edges in the shower.
And with that,
We
if
wouldn't
you,
have edges in the shower.
but you've got, like if it's a doorless shower, you'll have.
Oh, yeah, you'll have that face. All right, now we got a base to start. All right, what colors do we want?
Well, we got that pearl and silver in here.
So what, you just didn't like the yellow, or? Oh, okay.
And we put black in it and it's green.
So we started over.
They say just watch where the colors
Okay.
when you
So,
when it's black on black.
Are you done?
So it doesn't stain, so it doesn't smash and see hard.
I see right here, there's a little.
This edge isn't done.
all right. So, do you want to spray first?
I think just use our spray colors. I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
Up to you. Yeah, throw it out.
That's where I started.
I wish it was like, now I wish it was like a little bit of the countertop thickness so we could,
Yeah.
But do we want
it's gonna, that ain't gonna work.
Did it just where we needed that?
If we respray them.
What did he say about like cleaning it?
You wipe it off and you follow where
It's all the
you're intermixing.
Yeah, you can just use alcohol in a rag or something. Yeah,
Or just
scrape
break it on the
it. Yeah, whichever.
Yeah, whatever you want. If you want that, if you want the mixed stuff out, we gotta do that before this all.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
No, but
So wide spray.
Yeah.
So,
And that's just clear alcohol
Yeah.
as a replacement for torching? Cool. No, that's cool. Okay, that's awesome. I just want to know the reason, that's all. So,
No fires.
no, I like it.
No large scale fires.
Right?
Or even small scale fires.
Yeah, small scale fire in a house could be a large scale fire, once it gets into your masking.
So now before we put this on, we got.
Now, do we want to mist it with, can we mist it with color?
Oh,
We can
definitely.
do
Just
whatever
remember
we
you
want.
still have your accent colors too, and we're trying to go for a slate, so you might even look up colors of slate with each other, with the colors you have, and try to think of patterns and how you want to mix it together. So just be thoughtful and make this your piece, because you have a customer that's chosen, these colors are kind of chosen by people that wanted these specific colors, but how you guys apply them could be totally up to you guys.
So slate, just like any of these.
Yeah, but you can even Google like a gray slate with whatever accents, and you know, and you kind of know you're gonna have some green there and black or more charcoaly.
So we basically just do lines of the colors and then roll them in?
Is that what I said?
Well,
I want you to be creative, because there's a million ways to do this, and I want you guys to think together, what would we do to complete a sample for a customer that wants these colors? Because we know how it looks forward, we know how it looks like. If it's gonna be a vein, am I just gonna pour it out of the cup and be like, oh, we never do that, we usually let it get 120, we pour it out, we let it set 5 minutes, then we take product and we pour it out into a vein. So if you wanna do veins, do veins, and do them correctly, and if you
I
don't wanna do veins,
like your
and you wanna
other
pour product out of there because
strokes
you wanna be kind of
better.
lazy and fast about
The
it.
straight ones.
But just really think through
Yeah,
it
it
and try to
didn't,
teach you how
it
to
looked
get
better
what's
with the
happening.
straight, didn't it?
Well,
I was trying to get all
finish it
fancy
like
with
this.
it, but, okay. Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Get that one, and then we can go edge to edge.
And I can help you if you tell me exactly what you're
leading
looking
edge.
for, and we'll try to give you an idea.
Oh. Dang it. Don't really do that.
That's gonna start looking good here, like a gold door maybe.
Bringing it back.
Oh, exactly what this is. I think it's gonna look good.
I think we
Can't look worse, that's the good thing about it.
That's right. Oh, that black, when we put that blackness on.
I didn't see it. You put the glove down.
Good job, Mariah. She's being detailed.
Actually, that's good. There, now let's add
That's really good, Mariah.
this.
That's probably.
It's gonna start.
Where we don't see
Yeah,
so
it's
much
just.
gold, just to play with it. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
You need using a roller at the point.
But just straight strokes.
I see. Yeah, we were I was trying to swirl it earlier.
Well, you-
Bad idea.
honestly, it just takes time to get really good with a trowel to where you can do all the little. I mean, you gotta be pretty smooth, and not to mention, I mean, usually it's a little natural.
Well, I can do it drywall then, but this is different.
You know, you're getting good. This is your first one practicing, so it's not a big deal.
So.
At least you listen. At least you listen, so I have a lot of faith. Who listens? This lady.
Well, I know, I realize how little I know.
So do I. Which is why I try to listen.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
that's looking better. I got lots of it. It pulls out like all the colors.
Yeah, that's not bad now.
And that gold came through. It's very nice.
So can you
Just so you know, they started with a yellow sample. It was all yellow.
Mix a little more and trowel in, and spray and trowel it flat.
kind of like burn it out?
I've
Like
even done
concrete?
WD-40 and used it with a trowel lid and gotten super smooth finishes.
Really?
And that's I know you're not gonna, well,
Recoat over it.
What I'm doing,
And that's after leaving it sit. Yeah, it's kind of set up. And that's after leaving it sit for a while and set up.
Oh, yeah. I let it go about 3 hours.
Just trying to hurry.
Kind of smooth it out.
Oh yeah, look at that. Okay.
Some of that
yeah.
green, we've got a little bit of green coming through, yeah, that was.
What other color do you want? Because I would just say, like, one of my recommendations maybe was just try to get it from ends. So like one and maybe randomly. So maybe this will be a little bit of a tall green streak, a little lower spot.
Okay.
Then I'd probably let the alcohol evaporate out of this, leaving just the base of mica powder in here. Then I'd come back over it. So, and remember, you're still gonna have a lot of the base when your trowel comes through, so you'll just see little variations of this grain. So if you want to start heavy from the other side with your other one, start with plain green.
That's a forest green, I think. And that one's a light turquoise.
This is light turquoise.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to imagine here is if this is standard.
But it doesn't, it like.
Spray it.
Is that
So just take a little more time spraying, but you're still,
Okay.
we're still gonna
It's
trowel,
still
so
good.
it's not nothing to stress about.
I like the turquoise.
Yeah, me too.
I'm kind of wondering about the sanding in the corners and all that kind of stuff.
Take as much time with troweling as possible so you have as little
Yeah.
time sanding as possible.
Yeah.
And then we probably should wait till this smooths, but let's see this.
Oh, wow. What do you mean wait until
Or
it's...
wait.
Ooh, we turned them brown, so that actually works
Alcohol
better.
evaporates.
Oh,
And now look how smooth that's getting because I'm barely putting any pressure at all. Just a little bit of wet alcohol on it.
It brings depth.
okay.
It says everything, just how smooth you can trowel it. So if you can trowel it really nice and gentle.
So it'll smooth trowel, or it'll trowel smoother with the alcohol still on the surface.
It will, but it's gonna blend it quite a bit more.
Yeah.
So.
So if you just want to do, you know, something more simple, you don't want to do some crazy stuff. You just put out like a couple dumps of
Well, I have the grayish color, but
so real nice and smooth. Spray it, just spray out the wall. Colors.
I don't know if it's stiff. I really like to try a trowel.
Yeah.
They might have one over there for you to try.
Or here. Let's shoot it.
Or do we want to add more along the edges of colors?
Yeah, we need color on the edges.
Do you want to switch me?
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's more of a, maybe it's not moving for a slate. You can roll that area there.
Yeah.
What if we just use like our stick and drum it? Like,
Remember, if you're spraying that heavy, you're gonna have a long time of letting that evaporate for a little bit, a little hole.
we have white. I'm just adding to the
That's gonna
very
evaporate. You're gonna be
edges.
trying to
Since
trowel
we
it
have
smooth.
the
And if that was on a wall, it'd just be a big drip right there. Not saying not to do it, just.
How to blend it.
Are you wanting to blend this?
Yeah.
We're trying different ways, like he's chopping.
I'll show you one quick way and I'll give it right back to you. Just a thought that sometimes works. Sometimes if you can, that's not a bad deal either.
All kind of muddled.
Oh yeah, like you were.
Just a simple figure eight. He was probably doing this exactly.
Yeah.
He's trying to. Some of us were trying to stop it.
Yeah.
I chop any way he does it, but just make sure it's the same technique, and see, you can leave some streaks here. That's also nice. You get a lot more air bubbles. So this here, you're gonna have lots of little round pattern marks come out from all the air, which a lot of times that's nice to put air. Sometimes that's what you want. So don't.
And we were gonna do like different ways now.
You're not doing that at all. Maybe work your stemple in an area, or maybe even put different colors.
Yeah. This is your piece too.
Maybe you want to select it, stemple in or something.
I like that blue.
I like that with the turquoise on it.
Completely changed it.
Doesn't matter, I'm thinking of it.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's our Caribbean. Ooh, pearl? Some pearl. Caribbean.
Think you're way better than it.
Let's see what happened over here.
Is that it, guys?
Oh, wow. This has changed a lot.
Yes, it has, hasn't it?
Like with glue?
It's better than that icky yellow.
Do that and just leave it.
Leave it, you could leave it like that.
That's what I kind of like the natural.
Because it looks like it's a sheet of copper when it's.
Yeah, that's kind of oxidized.
Afraid to speak up.
So I've got a 72 Blazer.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to. You're 22 years old.
It's
High school for the week.
Pretty much, I stole her away.
That's a good holiday to be at.
Yeah. Came out here and said, listen, you come.
This sample was yellow. If you were here from the beginning,
No, it's.
and now it's turned copper.
Father son, I guess. Yeah, you don't know anymore. Yeah. And now it's so weird. You'll see it. It'll be like.
I go as.
I think it's, still right here. You can see when
Is that color?
it's evaporated.
But then the yellow comes.
Oh, you want
So, no yellow at all. I like it.
The client will come home and be like,
It's
hello?
supposed to be a really solid, separated pattern that all your alcohol evaporate before you spray it. And think about this, you could let your alcohol evaporate out of these colors, and then you can spray clear alcohol, because now your color is down in the epoxy, and then you can use the alcohol as a trowel lube, and it's not necessarily disrupting. Like right now, if you have wet alcohol with your color, you trowel and it pushes your color, but once that sinks in and dries, then your alcohol just helps smooth out that color.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll let this flash off and then we'll hit it with some clear.
Dude, we can do it really fast, just light it.
Yeah, then we'll just flood it with clear. Give it
And then just kind of
one end to end.
real light.
Yeah, this is.
It's this is our wall epoxy, so it's however you trowel it on is what you'll see. You can always sand and polish.
So if this is a door,
Hello, Seretti. Thank you for all the shares.
Play trucks with me, right? We'll be over to play trucks in a little bit.
So is it the same amount of weight you put when
My
you're
dad was
leveling it?
ginger master carpenter, so he gave me like a life size rocking horse.
It looks like Slade or not.
I think I would, if I were doing this as my piece, I would use more black and more white versus the.
Yeah, this one blends in.
Yeah, that one blends in a little bit, like when you mix it. But I really like this.
Are you trying to do this, or are you just doing?
I'm just trying to mix the ink to give it this, so when he rolls it, this
Okay.
lady color.
But you can't mix the alcohol with that.
So many options.
That, you can't.
And sometimes the alcohol will open it up. If you spray it with alcohol, sometimes it opens up so you can see the layering. And then you also have sprays you can use. There's some charcoal over there if you want to darken an area. Yeah, so that's another way to kind of add color.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeanette said it needs some dark silver in here.
Dark silver.
Yeah.
That's what
Which
she
side for your
has.
wall panel?
Great.
We got an answer. You guys have
I dolloped. Did not mean to dollop, sorry. He likes it. That was a hint, don't touch his.
Do we want some people to do a dirty pour?
Yeah, I'm getting it ready.
Okay, I just didn't know. Making sure.
So if you want more like sharp fractures or whatnot, you can do them like this, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Hello, happy river.
There we go.
That. Do it on the wall now.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do that guy that biker dude that was in here yesterday, did you see him? Yeah. He actually taught at the Bob Ross Art School, so it's funny how people are family. Like Bob Ross just did it quiet, and then he came in and actually was an artist. He did all the really good wall epoxy art.
Yeah.
He always told me, I'm an artist.
They're like, forget the yellow. We're gonna do something different.
Right.
He's like, the editor of Easy Rider magazine. He actually was the head editor of like 2 or 3 dating magazines.
He's really almost
Yeah, I never even realized he read all this.
And he lives here in Junction?
Maybe that's why his paintings are so good.
And he painted me a
Bob
really
Ross.
cool one of Jesus.
That's where he got his name.
Pulling a hand out of the water and some does some religious stuff.
Yeah, I think that's good.
The only thing is the race,
Yeah.
One of the girls.
like that one spot, like that's,
cool.
We did that on purpose.
yeah.
You don't like
At least you guys are being creative.
That's cool though.
All right.
green pops it out.
Does it?
I didn't want us to forget.
It's a little different when you're standing on top.
Yeah, it's like.
Okay. Practice.
I don't know, but I'll bet you we can talk about it.
Right there?
Do you have this in a white? The alcohol is white.
We have a pearl.
We have
Can we have some spray white pearl?
Someone has it over here on one of these tables. Yeah.
I see what you mean by that. Once you throw the charcoal in,
Yeah, you can blend it. Yeah.
puts it across there a little bit.
Oh, you guys have got the white pearl. Okay.
Do you ever do a dirty pour and then do like other techniques on top of it? Like add veins or
Yeah, I've done
add
that.
fractures and stuff like that on what we'll do a dirty pour?
Yeah, we'll do that right now, actually.
Shake the hell out of it.
Is that-
I know, right?
Oh,
Just
in
trying to,
the middle area? I tried to.
Only our classroom projects tomorrow, but not personal samples. Because
I wanted to try something with some glitter and white to see if it comes through. Remember how we talked about that a little bit
I bet we'll have
yesterday?
this afternoon. So we still have quite a bit of time to pour.
Basically, the table that's right outside this window,
Yeah,
that one that's like, looks like the night sky and then like mountains or something.
right?
Dude, I need that, but with white.
Okay, I'll look
You
at
know,
that.
like that space look, that like glitter, shiny glittery, but with a white base rather than a black base. And I think that has like a colored glitter in it.
I'll do some cells with dark silver spray.
Finish this section. That's all I come
You can hit white in there, Chuck. Yeah, we'll just try it.
These crazy streaks. This table right outside that window. It's like the
Oh,
coolest.
some
I
translucent
really like how
green.
it gives it like a hammered look.
Yeah,
I like the hammered look.
yeah. Can always do that after too, sprays, you know,
Yeah.
when it's all.
Yeah, that's cool.
Some cells.
See, now I like the heavy swatching that she just did on that.
Yeah.
After you roll it in, do we wanna try it over here?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
same way?
Definitely.
Well, you're doing it.
We're just trying things. It doesn't matter. Sure, do it.
She wants the hammered look.
I do like the
No drinking at lunch. Hammered looks for the afternoon. Like a full-fledged contract painter.
Last night at my hotel, there was music and karaoke going.
Oh, maybe she's saying
Vista? That's where we're staying too. I always stay there when I come down here.
It's a nice place.
Are you riding in town or something? Is that where you brought your bike?
Yeah, I ride out on 27 1/4.
Oh, okay.
It was awesome out there last night, man. It was like cake batter. so much moisture in the dirt.
Right.
Oh, so good.
So we can see the colors on them.
I was out there Sunday. We had 13 kids out on Sunday.
I went out there on Sunday too.
Did you see a group of 13 kids?
No, I didn't see anybody. Where are you guys from?
That's cool.
I mean, that's the cool thing about it is that I've seen you guys.
I missed.
Yeah.
Jeanette wants some charcoal cells on this piece.
Say again.
Jeanette wants some charcoal cells.
Yeah. Got the charcoal? Oh,
She's on, yeah. she's on her line.
do it.
Sunday, I came out Sunday, early Sunday morning.
I think that looks good. I think it looks
Came
good.
down, rode all
I don't
day.
know.
You can let it evaporate and come back with another color or a clear, and it'll kind of open it up more.
If we troll it,
Does anybody else like to try? They did 3 different sections to make it look different so they can see it. You like that style?
This reminds me of the table that's out there.
A little similar, huh? Yeah.
That looks like it might just have browns in it too.
Yeah, it was gold and then turquoise, which Jeanette just said turquoise. Very cool. All right, live. I'm gonna let you guys go until this afternoon. We'll see what happens with these samples. Thread needs help.
because I also want to see when it's dry.
Yes, I don't know. What would you do, Jeanette?
A section.
Boy, that got hot.
Aren't we here to see what our variations could be?
What are you trying to change on it?
Nothing. Nothing.
Sorry, I'm outing you. Sorry. I think we're gonna do a dirty pour over here, but I don't know. Maybe I should.
Little CD yesterday, it was a blank sheet of paper. So every track up it was left of dark black lines. Every single track up it.
What's my final color? Gold? Yes.
That's weird. I was just gonna say that.
Yes, sir.
Shimmer gold.
Colors like that. How long is it before it's too late to start putting veins in?
Oh, you guys can. It's still dripping. You could probably hit lunch right now and come back. Yeah. Hey, remember, guys.
How much you want to cover?
Yes, it is. I know. Well,
We're not rushing. We're just.
Oh, no, they were asking me how.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you could go to lunch.
We poured it at 85. We know it's about.
And all these drips, like if you wanted to do that, there's a material for it right there. So,
Oh, and do like a plain gray vein.
Like veins.
Gray vein. See, mine's already excessively veiny.
that's what you
That
did.
vein looks
You have veins without needing veins.
that looks more natural than the veins that you were trying to do yesterday. I think I like the look of this better than what I
What are you
was
guys?
physically trying
What
to
are you
do.
guys arguing?
I'm gonna call my wife and put her on speaker.
Sorry. I'm using 2 cameras here. Sorry, guys.
I have
See, now that that's being left alone, you can see the colors. When you were doing it, you couldn't see the colors. It looked like it was mixing them in.
Wall panel like this would be difficult because of this pattern. This is standing alcohol, so I would say it's difficult to make this on a roof.
Now the Tony doesn't have a roller.
and this is how you do it.
And I guess that's the woman, she just won the argument because I said something. I wasn't saying to screw your team over, I was just saying that.
Question for you.
Yes,
So
sir.
now this is this, do we just let her sit, or do we have to?
Yeah, I mean,
Do you do anything like
if you let it
smooth it
set
out?
and you want it smooth, you have to sand everything from here. Or you can let this dry for about 2 hours and kind of spray off.
myself
And
with
have it,
torch
and then come back and you'd have a lot.
I use it.
Definitely don't trust the torch right now. There's enough alcohol flowing over that surface to light up the building.
It's like this liquid that's just pouring over the kitchen on the ground.
Okay. Dirty pour.
So now I wonder if
You're fine. I'll grab it.
Nicole dumped out.
Really calculating how much I should give a shit. So. love everyone. Forget it sometimes.
We're stuck.
This is your house. If you like walk.
I'll come over here.
You want some of the camera?
I'll double fist it.
Alright, I'm gonna pour a dirty pour over here. If anybody wants to, you're welcome to with me. I poured a little bit heavier here. This is about probably 12 pounds per gallon, so, or 12 square feet per gallon, sorry. So, black gold. Move it away.
What base color?
I don't know, just blend together.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know.
And is that your silver?
Just
Yep.
over there, what you're not looking at.
Silver, gold, white, and a black base. I just want to make kind of a dirty granite look here, so we'll just see what we get out of this. I know I'm going to have to roll some of this in because it's not thick enough to just pour, but... Some of that in there so we can. Now this is where, when I was trying to tell you guys to think about how you roll, it really matters right now. Because if I just roll this and roll this because I'm having fun, I'm just gonna have a huge, it's already gonna blur quite a bit. So here with this product, since my roller's already wet, I'm gonna break the surface tension on my edge. Just don't be thoughtless when you do stuff. You always realize that everything you do is going to have a very calculated reaction once you get used to it.
Yeah, we're not government employees, we gotta think.
Yeah.
Hey.
I was like, you're a Marine. That's the most worthless people I ever worked with.
Dude, I know every trooper on the western slope.
Do you remember your
Direction are you
nanny would
headed?
just golf all day and you're like, wait a minute. Like, in most jobs you have to work harder when you move on, not that you don't have to
Yeah.
work.
Can you explain how you're doing the way you're doing it? You're being thoughtful?
Yeah, so I poured all my product into one bucket and just didn't really mix it and dumped it all out. And now I'm trying to break my surface tension so that when the product does flow over, I don't have to overly roll an edge, if that makes sense. And if you notice, I'm just in the black mostly, trying to get my edges done. I don't want to roll into all my gray and mess up all my patterns, just coming to I'm just basically priming my edges right now, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
That's a whole day class of being thoughtful. We're the men here don't do that.
No, a lot of people do. I didn't do it when I didn't have to either, and then I started being like, son of a bitch, that didn't work out. I'll be right back to do your house again, man.
24 hours to grow.
Don't you? We'll be like best friends by the time I'm gone. I remember the granite class, like, oh, a job's gonna take more than 7 days, and I'm like, for a 40 square foot countertop, like, no shit, it shouldn't take more than 7 days. Like, never met a customer that liked me for 7 days straight. Never met a customer I liked for 7 days straight.
And then you just.
Should be very simple. Kind of the contrast of what you guys did over there with a whole lot of work.
So with that ounces per square foot that you guys have figured, are you accounting for some waste of dripping over the edges?
Yes, sir.
So if you want like a finish like this,
Pour that right on top.
just pour it and then leave it alone and
Yes,
let
sir.
it settle.
Yeah, or pour that on top of the base that you
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
Yeah, the gray's a little more forgiving because it doesn't overtake all the other colors like the black does.
Although this would be a very easy, let me see my that just fair?
What kind of roller are you using? Not sponge,
You know what?
right?
I'll take that. And I'll take that bucket just for a second. Let me see if I can scrape a little bit out of there.
Is that just a regular nap roller?
No, that's a foam roller. The
Foam,
only true
okay.
lint-free roller I believe in it is a foam roller.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself getting little bubbles from that foam roll? I mean, you torch after, so it doesn't hurt you.
Not, yeah, just because I torch, I never really worry about it. Not a lot of color still in there. I have to wait through most of my color. Yeah, that's not impressive. Where's that clear at? Where's a torch? We'll do something a little different.
We have one right there.
Wow, the torches are all put down, that's nice.
Ah, texture.
I'm gonna go home and do that.
Yep. It's fun to do it at your own house.
Yeah, my in-laws wouldn't mind this.
Not so good if you catch the drink on fire.
As long as the carpet matches the drinks.
These specs are.
Now, this is what it came for right here. Now, the texture will go away.
Oh, I
The
see.
marbleization is much down.
All I got is light reflection. I can't see
This is what it came
squat.
for.
And now you could do the same thing with a regular weed burner and way safer. Much safer.
Oh, I see.
What is the reaction to the weed burner? What's the difference?
Just a really fast way to torch this and heat it up. And now look at all the little micro bubbles still popping with a torch.
Is that
The torch is
because?
still so much more just efficient at popping air bubbles and very direct.
Yeah,
Look how much flatter this is gonna get this.
yeah.
And now just pick, go pick like two really contrasting colors, like a shimmer gold and pick a really good contrasting gold and something else that you guys want. Silver. Maybe a blue.
Silver.
It could be. Yeah, copper will, it needs to be something like copper, only because silver doesn't really block color very well. Something that's a real
Turns out
vibrant.
very.
Yeah,
What are you saying made it super flat? Torching it with a flame like that?
Well, it's just really fast to get it.
Yeah.
But then now I'm getting it much flatter just with actually torching it. And a lot of people, they'll just try to burn it and not come back and torch it.
Ah,
See that? Oh, look at that.
I get it.
You did.
I know that's a lot of times I can see those.
Well, I probably would have more.
I love that corner. Isn't that pretty? That's cool. That corner.
Yeah.
You notice how direct my flame is?
Yeah.
It's not like hoping that it just emotionally changes the piece.
But you keep moving on that too.
Yeah, don't let it sit still.
Doesn't have to.
That's the important part. Very direct. If you really want to level your piece out, you need to learn how to torch pretty direct. And now I still see there's bubbles over here. But they're going to keep coming up because my product's really, really still thin viscosity. It's letting the air out.
Do you notice any variation in the gases that you use?
Use propane. MAP gas is too hot. So
Okay.
you want to be able to have a flame on it without it just immediately burning, and MAP gas will burn very fast. The MAP gas is way hotter than propane.
Okay.
Somebody here probably knows the exact difference. I can't remember, but it's thousands of degrees. Burn that piece, whatever it was.
Like glass.
If you were doing white, if white was more of your base language, would you go at the same speed with the
A little
torch?
faster maybe, and I'd just torch it a few more times, spend a little longer on it. But just quicker, probably more like a little faster to pass.
Gotcha.
You notice I'm really going over and over this because I'm not expecting to get all the air bubbles in one pass.
Right.
And then I'm going to spray, and this whole piece is going to be totally different than it is now. We're basically just going to use the black base as an example of what you can do.
Do we have any of the spray that we can spray on?
I got something like that that I'll grab out of the back real
We
quick.
got a customer complaining that wants it more sparkly.
Oh, okay.
She likes a piece I did, but
Hocus Pocus is nice.
With the white, if you spray and burn like that, does it affect it?
It would burn it much easier. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, that definitely. Like,
So Reddy and everyone on TikTok, I'll be in touch. It's been a busy week. Sorry, so bear with me.
Whites are more sensitive than
They turn yellow quick.
I learned that being a white liberal woman was probably the hardest job in the world during COVID. They had to tell everybody else in the world how they had to live so they weren't projecting their own thing.
Yeah.
COVID made me so anti-political.
Oh, yeah.
When my mom had
Jeanette,
cancer and they asked her,
the leaf blower.
"Oh, have you been sick?" And she said, "Well, I have allergies." And they said, "Oh God, you need to leave the clinic." And it took her like 4 months to get her back in for emergency surgery.
Oh,
and then she was
no.
stage 4, and people thought they had nothing else to tell me, but I should think of COVID. I'm like, I'll let you know what I think of. Your bullshit medical. Where's a leaf blower? Because this is the only way.
I'm going to trying
Oh,
to.
you're getting it.
I'm trying to find it. Yeah.
Michael said it.
I'm creeping back here.
All right.
Right there.
If you guys see
Oh, it
this,
still says
actually,
the glitterous blower. Yeah.
we did have a super sweet customer named.
She's on here.
Huh?
She's on here, Jeanette.
Oh, Jeanette, our customer that's online right now, she sent us this sticker because I was trying to say that I'd find a woman glitterous with glitter and just fuck you. And then I accidentally said the other word. And then, so we got all these stickers, and now she calls us my glitterous blower. It works, you'll see how. Yeah, when I go home, I'm going to have to explain why I got glitter on. Where you been all day?
she knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I've done tubs and weird shit like this.
So you're just putting that into the intake right there?
Yep, right into the end. This is a DeWalt blower that I'll sell you for an extra $100 so you can put glitter through it. It'll even have a sticker. All right, there you go. Is that what your customer was wanting? Did I? Your customer wanted more glitter. I'm just saying that if they wanted more glitter.
I don't know what glitter. I want it to be sparkly.
Oh, that's sparkling.
Maybe not alien.
All right.
Levi, can you tell me how big that bag of glitter was? What she said?
25 grams.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me grab one more thing of clear alcohol.
Just give
The alcohol's gonna go.
Yeah, 400 grams. Yep.
Now, you can see it's almost a hazy effect
Yeah.
from the glitter sitting on top. Don't ever torch shake this, guys.
Don't do what I do, do what I say.
Yeah.
Don't do it in my place. I did get a guy got really mad. Will you do it? Okay.
You're not shitting
I have to pay my bills.
When my house burns down,
Okay, but what is the flame adding?
coolness.
Well, I get that. No, what's the flame adding to
Flame at heat, cooked meat.
to the effect?
I
mean,
it's
what-
just like
what would be the
it's like you
difference?
could take 5 minutes or you could take 30
Oh, it's
seconds of
speeding
just
it up.
making.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know, man. Maybe online it's giving people lady boners. We don't know. So we just you never know. You never know what's happening. I'm just doing my best over here trying. With
So
whatever.
if you
God
spread
gave me
that
glitter,
straight on
not
the
good looks. I'm
couch.
not trying to kid. So do we have shimmer gold or do you guys want this? You want the bronze?
Do it.
I don't think it's very contrasting, so I don't think it's the best.
But you said
Yeah,
silver
do the blue
would.
and the pink over there.
Yeah, well, I need 2 colors, so get me a gold or something else.
I got copper over here.
Nah, copper
Copper is a contrasting color enough, but pick a color you guys like gold, shimmer. You have a shimmer gold? Shimmer gold will sit on top really well.
What's this one? It just says gold next.
Yeah, that'll be more of a rusty color. I want this
I can
to
grab
stay-
one. Mariah.
Levi, when this dries
The
and
Mariah
hardens,
takeover.
do you
There you
have to
go.
put a top coat on it because of the glitter, or does it sit?
Oh no, we get this all melted into where it's just perfect.
So that one out there.
Those Roxy.
doesn't have a top.
I guess you could do one if you wanted to, but if he can get it to.
I don't know much about shoes. She's all in. Levy, don't pick up my trash. I'm sorry.
She just, I got pretending to workplace hazard.
You got that other gold? Oh, you got it.
Oh.
This will contrast quite a bit better. Yeah, from 1880. That is. This is like an old model. This here, I bet you is 14.
Oh, yeah, you can see that.
You think that pastor killed his wife?
What, is this
Micah?
recent?
Micah, you remember that? You guys aren't watching the news?
No.
Not anymore.
It's my TikTok news. It's
Is
that
that
pastor
real news?
trying to divorce his wife. More really than Fox News and CNN. That's why the government wants to get rid of TikTok. They're tired of truth. Well, that's true. If you're watching real news, you ain't getting any truth.
No. I like Max News. That's true.
No news is truth anymore, guys. All news companies are owned by somebody that wants you to think a certain way. And it's never to love your neighbors.
Manipulated by the edges.
Yeah. Man, I wish I had a better spray nozzle on here. This spray nozzle has had its
Interesting,
last day.
it's still reacting.
You wanna, you know what? We're just struggling still. Where's our roller?
I was gonna say, what happened if you chopped this one?
There you go.
Yeah,
Right back to where we started.
Just breathe, Felicia.
See?
I'll bet it's gonna come back.
I hope so.
I like that better.
Oh, I see what it is.
Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, it was
Again.
way too solid, yeah.
He's doing tiger.
It wasn't taking
he's doing
the
tiger stripes.
samples. It wasn't taking the accent
Doing
colors very well.
Glitter
No.
tiger stripes.
Glitter tiger stripe.
Look, it's glitter tiger stripes.
Could you do like just a
What's
solid
7-year-old
silver
little
glitter?
girl would
Like
not
just
love that
the.
shit.
You could, but you'd have to do like a black base and then just pour it in your
One of the
clear.
things she's a boys do.
Black absorbs a lot of colors, doesn't it?
Well, I was saying you
I
can
mean,
put it
you
in
gotta-
clear. So does white. So does any liquid pigment. A liquid pigment will absorb a glitter or a metallic powder very quickly.
Is it just more
Needs to
color
settle on top.
blocking?
Dang.
Is it just more color blocking?
Yeah, because it's that totally opaqueness that's over there. So this now this will be a lot better, guys. See how now
Yeah.
it'll actually set in this black. Contrast really nicely.
It's like a Barbie countertop.
Just do a really nice separate
Barbie.
speckled effect.
Countertop.
Barbie, with all the glitter.
How do you think Kendall gets the girls?
So Levi, in your opinion, when you're doing this, starting off, is there certain colors to stick with and kind of?
I always use a liquid base on 80% of my pours. I do like copper and charcoal sometimes as a base color, but a lot of my primary colors I try to keep liquid because it's just going to block color so much better, and then you can add your accents to the top of it very easily.
So those are just gray, black, and white.
Uh-huh. And I had a little bit of charcoal in there too.
So it kind of does like a labradorite kind of effect.
Let's hope we have like a tiny bit of a blur, black on the charcoal. And that gold, I don't care, but it doesn't have to be a shimmer gold. It's contrasted enough.
Chop it with a brush.
So when you do
I'm
it,
gonna try to get just a, yeah, the red one will work okay too. I'm not.
It's all the way over there.
Copper.
when you're doing a dirty pour, you wanna make sure to do your paths all throughout the entire countertop.
He's doing that on
section,
purpose.
Right?
Say, what's that?
I think I know the answer, that's okay.
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, if you're doing, you know, let's say an L-shaped countertop, you wanna do your dirty pour around the whole thing.
I wouldn't go around
and then-
corners with a dirty pour, because usually you're trying to mimic a rock vein, and when people make the rock vein turn the corner with the L in the countertop, it just looks like cheese.
Fake.
Yeah, bad.
Okay,
Bad order.
so how would you treat that
I
corner?
would pick it, I'd
Pour
do
up
everything
to
a
it?
base color, and around that corner, I wouldn't pour up to it, I'd just pick which direction my patterns need to go, and it would usually be the overall direction of the entire kitchen, and I would just pour it straight, let it fall off
Okay.
where it needs to, let it pour where it needs to, and just keep as straight of a vein across as possible.
Okay.
I try to keep all my veining at all
Yeah.
a linear direction in the kitchen and not, because I've set a lot of granite and I never found veins that went all the way around my kitchen,
Right,
so.
okay, good point.
Now, the more I layer on this, eventually we can just get this where it's just total speckled, just like a granite, like I don't know if you've seen like Baltic brown or that kind of look, that you can pick any colors and just spray it right into the glass very easily.
I'm so sorry.
And then if you want to separate it, and the one thing I was gonna say is if we had a really contrasted shimmer gold, it really will separate really nicely and you'll get like a really broken two-tone effect out of it. This is working pretty well though.
Yeah,
To build a workshop.
Say
Sounds
what?
kinda like
Yeah.
a said I need to build a workshop.
yep.
Yeah.
I'm understanding it.
Well, come try it.
No, I need a spot that I can
Yes.
be this messy.
Call the customer's house. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
You know, I could probably talk to my neighbor and do that shit. He's got a garage and stuff.
Right. Better be doing something for him in there if he walks in and sees this.
Yeah, keeping him away from his wife.
I didn't want to come between you guys. I didn't want to create any kind of weirdness. Oh, don't tell, when he comes to kill somebody, don't tell me to do this.
Now, you could do what I did, talked my husband into building his own shop, and then I took over the garage.
Really?
Completely, yes.
Every time you come out there, you pay rent.
Oh, no. He's got a nice big shop now to do his mechanicing, and I got the wood
Oh, we
shop.
never did discussion, said you wanna build a shop, and then that was left at that.
Yeah. He's like, really, honey? Do you think we should spend the money? Oh, definitely. Go for it, hon. You need
Now
a
you're not gonna
big
be
shop.
mad when he fills it up with, there's no room in your workshop because there's some motorcycles parked there.
Yeah, well, the last piece to leave
Your
is
space
his
is
metal
full of bikes, I just realized.
Guys can have all the toys they want.
Well,
Women should spend the holidays buying them all the toys they want.
You know,
That way they leave you alone.
That's alcohol. It'll just evaporate.
And do what helps benefit both parties.
yes,
I hate
that's
when they
what we
say
did.
Fridays for the
Yeah.
boys and Sundays for the girls or whatever
Yeah.
all people say.
No,
So as you see, you can just keep
No, it's
adding
good.
this down.
So,
He killed my,
we
I
have,
used to make jokes like that.
You still see
I
glitter
haven't
through a
done
lot
a
of
lot
it.
yet.
and
Right
normally
angle.
you would spray the edges too.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah.
I don't really care about these edges. though.
Yeah. Those will flow
so
over
if we
anyway.
went to lunch now and came back,
Because I
No, you
this
don't
one,
wanna
I'm
get-
gonna do
you don't
this
wanna
too.
start a fire.
Support after. That one you could probably maybe still do veins or whatnot in carefully because you never torched it, right?
no.
Yeah, so I bet you'd still have time on that one if you were careful. Maybe not, but I mean that'd be closer than this one.
But what-
The alcohol is just used to add accent colors in this case. They're mixed with our metallic powders.
That's kind of a
That's
fun,
really cool.
And we layered
the
them.
fun thing with this, you can
Yeah.
pour a black base in any colors a customer picks. If you can spray a spray bottle, I did a lot of countertops like this because I didn't know when I will tell you this though, my first countertop that I was trying to match was Baltic brown, and I'd set about 1,200 granite countertops, and I was like, I need to do my top color, so I was trying to do Black Galaxy, I was trying to do Baltic brown, Ubatuba, and all of a sudden I realized these are all very difficult, really shitty low-end granites that I'm trying to replicate. It's all the crappiest stuff, and it's all the stuff that
Right.
people would come in and say, oh, I love this piece of marble, and they couldn't afford it or it wasn't enough for their house, and they'd be like, I guess I'll do the Baltic brown. And then I was in there trying to do Baltic Brown, and then even customers would come to me, only from Grand Junction, and if you're from Grand Junction, this isn't about you, but usually women from this town would be like, oh, I'd like Uba Tuba, and I'd be like, that's the cheapest color you could get. And they just kept wanting it until I started showing white marble, black marble, soapstone, travertine, and then nobody ever picked another stupid granite color again. But people, when I didn't have samples of something that was much better, would only come in and try to pick what they could afford before. And I realized that what people were asking for is what they thought they could afford at a granite shop, and I thought, wait a minute, colors aren't costing me like difference for any different color doesn't cost me different money per square foot. So I need to just give the customers what they absolutely would wish for if they could afford anything they wanted. So same with my edges. I'll route edges all the time, and like a router bit, you do a nice double waterfall edge, that costs $40 a linear foot with granite because they have to grind it with diamonds and they have to come back and polish it. And it's either a really expensive CNC router granite machine, or you have a whole bunch of people out there polishing edges that have a lot of skill. So there's not really a cheap way to do stuff with granite. A router bit will work for this for 5-10 years. If you can match the inside width of the sink. And do you want the backsplash to be a similar contour, or do you want the front edge to be a similar contour? And it costs nothing. And I don't charge for that, because what I really want, where I'm making my money back, is when my customer says, hey, I want a soapstone countertop. Right there, everybody in town $180 a square foot for the simplest thing you could install for soapstone. It's really difficult and soft, so that there'll be a lot of breakage and worry in just installing it. And then they'll say, oh, and I want a waterfall front edge, and I want an underground sink with a matching waterfall edge on that, and I want a backsplash that's a full height backsplash with black granite or something like that. And we can do all that with epoxy, and we're charging $55, $65 a foot, and we'll close jobs all day long. And our competitors are like, man, they're just to get there inexpensively with no edge profile, no underground sink, nothing done. All the things that cost me, I drilled a hole in wood, I routed something with a wood router. I'm not doing it to make more money, I just want the job, and I want my competitor to have a really hard time competing with me. So when they get a build out, like did from me, from my shop to them, they're like, I can't do that. So.
Piggyback off a waterfall edge, or if you have this, and this is where your edge would you just do a miter saw and just do 45 and then just boop?
Oh, that type of waterfall edge, yeah, I always, that's a little different. I was thinking of a waterfall profile, it's an edge profile like granite. But, and you're thinking like if I was
Waterfall island,
like the island out there, class did that was all built by students, whatnot. I have a desk that's a little bit nicer, it's built with wood inside of it. And I always build stuff flat, and then I cut it, come back and miter it. Make sure your saw can get all the way through the piece at a 45. So if you're cutting like a 3-inch thick slab, like some of the desks around here, I mean, it takes a large plunge saw, and you have to run it on a track. You'll never be able to push something that weighs, I mean, that gun table, it's about 1,200 pounds. So you're not pushing that 1,200 pound table through a table saw or anything. Always think that if you have aggregate in it, it all has to be cuttable or out of the way of your cut, because you can't, like if you have a rock and wood in the same cut, you can cut rock with diamond and you can cut wood with a carbide blade, but then you can't do that mitered cut because you can't cut through both aggregates, if that makes sense. And I've seen a lot of people pour cast pieces that they want to cut back or router back, and they have like stuff that has to be cut with a carbide blade or a router, and they have stuff that has to be cut with a diamond blade, and you just can't do both. So it's kind of just be thoughtful. And like I said, I always build them all flat, long enough for the leg to get folded down, and usually add a couple inches so you can cut it off and really level everything up and get it super straight. And always run a track and clamp your track. The table out there was doubled up 3/4 inch plywood, and I think I made 4 passes to get the depth, and I was using a Festool track saw. So I just kept setting my depth just a little bit further every time, every pass. Because you don't want, a lot of times, like think about your blades too. A blade, when it starts cutting, heats up and it's spinning really fast, and you'll see, anybody seen a diagonal blade? And they'll start walking around, and then you go to put your joint back together. So just cut as much as what you, as soon as you push a router, push a saw, more than just letting it kind of come into the cut, and if you feel you're trying to hold the saw down, you're warping your blade right then. So just slow down, like reset it a little bit higher, make a smoother pass, and come back again.
So what if you do it before post? Like as in you have the board, you do your 90 degree, or you do your
before you pour?
You do your miter cut, you tape, sand the edges, tape the edges, so that way they're like butted up to each other.
Yeah, you'll just never get it, because you'll never get it. I challenge anyone to do that. And the only reason being is it's been a lot of people try, and I was the first one to try that. I've done every type of waterfall edge. I've poured in waterfall. Okay. And I've never seen a seam look good, flex well. I've tried to flex my epoxy before it was cured. it's gonna be inconsistent, you're gonna be stuck with a really simple pattern, not torching it, like, and then you're still gonna always see something buff out, whereas as soon as you pour a flat piece, miter it correctly, glue it back together with epoxy, now you can polish it, and you have a solid, really nice piece. It's not wonky or half-ass, and it's not epoxy or two pieces. I see a lot of people try to do their backsplashes, and they'll cut all their backsplash, they'll miter their corners on like 4-inch splashes, and then they pour them. You can't pour a really clean corner, but you could pour that piece of trim, like a piece of backsplash trim, all seamless, and then you could just take your chop saw and just do a perfect bit in that corner, and you'll never even see the seam. So just, I would just say that, not that you can't do it, I like to say you can't, to challenge you, because you're a ginger and you'll do it, but I also have a woman,
pictures.
I have a woman in my class that's been here a lot, and she does the Idell class, and she is more artistic than me, and much better at a lot of details than me, but she doesn't know shit about this. So I told her, don't do your backsplashes in place, because usually in most countertops, you're just gonna fight with it. Do I pour some? Yes, I do pour some. If a customer says I have one for mica, just pour the damn thing. Okay, pour over there for mica. Learn how to do it at a hot enough temperature to where you don't lose it off the splash. And there's some thoughts to be had. Now you guys are kind of learning how to pour hotter and everything, but it's never gonna look good as if you can really marble a piece and set it, make it look real, you know, just flowing over everything and making it look like the splash. And of course, I just had them teaching, don't do this. And then she called, and I'm like, if you really want it smooth, you're gonna have to come back and sand and polish that backsplash. That takes a long time to do with a DA in a corner on top of a countertop, and then on a countertop into an edge. And she goes, oh, look at this. She told me how wrong I was, and I was totally wrong, because it took her 4 days, and she did a little bathroom countertop, and it looked beautiful. I would just say you make $4 a day, maybe. Like, can you do it? Me saying not to do it doesn't mean you can't. I mean, you can ride a rowboat to Spain or something, but is there a better way? There's probably a better way. And I think she should have probably just removed the countertops, and then she wouldn't have been fighting with her sinks that she'd had, or she could have popped her sinks out, popped the backsplash off. She could have poured a piece of trim. Would have taken her like 10 minutes to pour a piece of trim, and 10 minutes to cut the miters, and 10 minutes to pour the top, and she'd have had 45 minutes. We timed a 65 square foot kitchen, that one we poured, right, Michael? The one with my kids, and my kids did all the work, and they did one or two bathrooms, one for sure, a master bathroom, and a kitchen. And I'm guessing it was like 65 square feet, and I made my 3 little kids do the whole thing, and it took me about 2 hours and 45 minutes of work time. So could there be lots of other ways to do that? Sure, but we'd have been there for 4 days, and it looked beautiful in 2 hours and like 45 minutes, and that's of work time. I actually left the job for 3 hours, came back, scraped my drips, peeled my masking. A few little spots had dripped and whatnot, and I cleaned it up with alcohol because it was still wet, and I left. So there would have been a lot of other ways to do it, but probably not that efficiently. I would, if I had came back the next day, I'd have been scraping stuff off the cabinets. I probably would have had to apologize to a customer for 2 little tiny spots, and I was able to just take care of it.
So speaking of efficiency, and especially when you're getting into
All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go.
getting in your 1, 2, 5, 6 job, right?
Right.
Obviously, you're gonna start picking up little tips.
Thank you for tuning in.
Right. But also to be profitable.
Right.
So what do you think maybe 3 key things are when you
Bye, Jeanette.
Did for enough time.
Thank you for your support.
Did a high enough square footage.
Bye, Weasel.
I don't know why.
And Mark.
I don't understand why some people with epoxy leave this class, and I see, oh, I let my customer buy my epoxy. Fucking stop that shit. There's a reason why we don't let your customers see that. When they can log in, they can look at your Go website and say, oh, it's a great